Welcome to day 3 of our Lent Readings for 2026, following a series on verses that every Christian should know. We move today to the second Gospel and a verse from the first chapter of Mark. As with the previous readings, I'll read it twice, but it's only short, so it won't take a moment. Mark 1, verse 17. "Come follow me," Jesus said, "and I will send you out to fish for people." Mark 1, verse 17. "Come follow me," Jesus said, "and I will send you out to fish for people." This is the way it's put in the New International Version's translation of the Scriptures. Some of you may be more familiar with the phrasing, "I will make you fishers of men." In essence, this verse captures the same sentiment as yesterday, in that it is a promise at the start of Jesus' ministry of what we saw given as an instruction at the end of it in yesterday's reading. Mark's Gospel is the shortest, and is often interested in the action more than the detail. His account here is typically the bare bones of the story, just stating as Jesus walked past the fishermen, he called them to follow. However, Luke 5 helpfully fills in some of the background. Jesus had earlier borrowed one of the fishing boats and pushed out a little way from the shore to teach a large crowd that had gathered on the shore of the lake. After finishing, he suggests to the fishermen who own the boat that they row out again to fish. They complain that they'd already spent all night fishing fruitlessly, having caught nothing. To their mind, fishing at night was much more likely to be successful when the fish move into the shallows. In the day, it was a lot harder as every shadow would spook them. Yet, though they were the experienced fishermen and Jesus, at this point to them, was an itinerant teacher, they agreed to do what he suggested. The result was a huge catch of fish, which to them could only be described as miraculous. As they surveyed the catch, Jesus gives them an offer. "Leave your fishing, come follow me, I'll send you out to fish for people." And they accepted, and as they say, the rest is history. Why would those fishermen accept the advice of someone who was not a fisherman, and then set aside everything they had to follow him? It must have started with that teaching. Though they were not part of the initial crowd that had gathered, they must have been listening as they cleaned their nets and Jesus taught. And what they heard was enough to convince them to act on his suggestion to go out and fish once again. The resulting catch only confirmed the significance of the one they had been hearing teach, and then when the offer came to follow, there was no hesitation. Maybe you've been labouring away at a good ministry for some time, but seen little or no fruit from it, certainly not what you'd hoped for. Maybe you've considered or even decided giving up. Let me suggest that Lent is a good time to pause, to pray, to reflect, to listen. What is God saying? Yesterday may have been fruitless, but today's a new day. It may be that he says, leave your nets and follow him into a new ministry. But it may be more likely that he tells you to go out once again, to persevere, to not give up just yet. Maybe he may point you to a small change that can make a big difference. At the end of John's Gospel, chapter 21, the disciples were out fishing once again with no result. This time Jesus tells them to let the nets down on the opposite side of the boat, and another large catch is landed. Remember, obedience to Jesus is what makes our ministry fruitful. So once more, let's hear that verse. Mark 1, verse 17. "Come follow me," Jesus said, "and I will send you out to fish for people." Amen. Till next time, have a blessed day.